I want to talk to you. I want you to stand up for a second. Seriously, I really do. The reason why I'm talking to you, want to tell you about this, or want you to stand up, is I want to tell you about my next speaker, the person who's going to be teaching you for the next hour and a half or so. He's a good friend of mine. I met him quite a while ago. I met him at a little small secret internet meeting. Literally, it was a secret internet. I'm not kidding either. It was a secret internet meeting. There was 8 of us. I believe there's 8 or 9 of us there. It was me, Jim Edwards, Mike, John Reese, Yannick Silver, Matt Fury, Tom Antion, Paul Myers, and 1 or 2 other people. And here's the thing: this is down in Tampa, and it was kind of the East Coast mastermind type idea, and so we all just kind of shared a bunch of ideas. And this guy brings this little box into this room. He brings a box, and he brings a guitar, and he's got this thing. He says, "You guys are recording these teleseminars, and you sound like crap. You sound like you're on the phone." I'm like, "It's because we are on the phone." But he says, no, you don't understand. I have a background in the music industry, and that's just not acceptable. You need a good microphone. You need to know how to sound professional, because this will never pass. He goes, "I don't understand why people would buy this. This is just crappy recording." And I said, "Well, this is just the way it is." He says, "Well, maybe I can show you guys a few things, and maybe, we could certainly show him a few things about marketing his business." And he was literally just getting started, and we got to be friends over the course of a few years. I asked him to speak at my second big seminar, and he was kind of nervous, in fact, because there's so many things going on. I forgot to add him to the speaker list, so he showed up, and he was like, "I don't know if I'm supposed to speak or not, but I'm here." And but the fact is that he did great, he did fantastic, and he talks about something that people don't talk about. And as his business grew, so did certainly his and my relationship. We have several companies that we own together. He's one of my partners in my record company. He's one of my partners in our loan company that we own, and we're getting ready to do a couple projects together in the future here. But the fact is that he is one of the most knowledgeable people that I know about recording. He's taken that information and bridged the gap. Everyone say that, bridge the gap. He bridged the gap between high-end audio, and he bridged the gap between internet marketing, and what he discovered was blogs are definitely something that everyone needs to know about. Companies, huge companies, multi-billion-dollar companies are seeking him out, and the reason why they're doing it is because of his blog. Everyone understand that? Because of his blog. This is so powerful. This is the future. Remember, I talked that webinars were the future. This is the future for you, and it's so simple. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. Say, "I can do it." Because you can do it, and if you're not doing it, you are absolutely crazy. So everyone, put your hands together. Welcome a good friend of mine, Mike Stewart, to the stage.
I actually used to play weddings in Atlanta, and we had a wedding in this very room years ago. So I brought my keyboard so I'd feel like I was just at a wedding, and I wouldn't be nervous speaking. So I'd like to play a little song for you to get started with my presentation. I'm going to score a little film I produced for you. Bring the lights down.
History of Information Publishing. The first printing press, 1445 AD. The oldest newspaper, 1690 AD. The first commercial radio broadcast, 1906 AD. The first commercial TV broadcast, 1941 AD. This has been Milestones in old media, and it only took over 500 years to evolve to where it is today. WordPress blogs. WordPress first appeared in 2003. Podcasts and Video Blogs 2004. Adam Curry began doing his daily source code podcasts in the fall of 2004. In the last 3 years, bloggers caused Dan Rather to retire, affected elections nationwide. Communities like MySpace and YouTube grew in months, not years. Newspapers, radio, and TV stations are losing advertising revenue in the millions to the internet. 2005 was slated as the year print journalism began to die. Blogging is new media journalism. Podcasting is new media radio. Video blogging is new media television. Ask yourself, are you going to be an early adopter of new media marketing? Or are you going to do the same things, the same way they have been done for the last 500 years in old media advertising, and expect different results? That's the definition of insanity. You don't want to market like an insane person, do you? For the next 88 minutes, we will learn about audio, video, and WordPress, and new media marketing with Mike Stewart, the Internet audio and video guy.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to tell you about new media marketing because I'll tell you what, unbeknownst to me, I think I just by accident, my good buddy Jim Edwards and I and a lot of marketers have been doing that because we've been building relationships with people using multimedia. So that's what I want to show you this morning is I want to pull it back. I like to do a lot of show and tell. I'm going to do some demonstrations. I want to show you how easy it is for you to click, talk, and the ultimate result is make money. So let's go ahead and just get the presentation going here. 3 of the biggest problems that I've experienced with people when they're starting out is 1, getting up a website and getting it running. It's like, oh gosh, what do I got to do? Who do I hire? Can you do it for me? All these problems of, oh, how do I get a website up? And then, of course, once you get a website up, getting traffic. I never called it traffic. I always called it viewers because I always felt the internet was television and radio. It's a TV set. It's got speakers, so it's not a computer. It's a television set. So traffic equals viewers. You need viewers to your website because that's what broadcast has been able to make money with for years. There's things like Arbitron and Nielsen that tell the people how many viewers they have to that content, to that media, and that determines how much money they can make by selling advertising. So the same thing can happen to you in niche. So the biggest issue or another problem is building a list. And you heard that all week. But I think it goes a little bit more than building just a list. Building a list of people online who know, love, and trust you. And there's no faster way to get people know, love, and trust you than to hear and see you. And that's what we're going to prove this morning and show you how easy that everybody can click, talk, and then ultimately you will make money as a result of it. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is about building relationships. There's all kinds of terms. In fact, there's a great book, and I'm not even an affiliate of this, but a buddy of mine named John Paul Mishak and his wife wrote this book called The Secrets of Online Persuasion. And what it's about is all this mystery of Web 2.0 and the long tail and all these things that don't make any sense to me. What it boils down to is people who are on the internet want to know, love, and trust somebody because they feel like they're going to be scammed. They feel like there's going to be problems. And what you've got to do is build that trust. I get people calling me on the phone, sending me emails, and at these events that watch my video blog, listen to my audios, and they say, I feel like I already know you. And that's what I call niche celebrity. And that's what I want to teach you how to make niche celebrity. Because when I go back to the mall tomorrow, I'm still the schmuck I was when I really got up on stage. That's a joke, but I guess it didn't work. Okay, well, you try new bits out. I guess it's because I can't be hypnotized. All right, what are we covering today? If you know what a blog is, listen anyway. It's worth listening to. But how many of you don't know really what a blog is? Just curious. Okay, well, this is the benefit to you because you need to know what a blog. And if you're not blogging, I hope before I get done here, you're going to feel that you need to blog. And that has nothing to do with my offer that I will be giving you. But the reality is I want you to know that I'm passionate about this. I thought, why in the world do I want to blog? Because I can put up a web page. There's so much power. the fact of some technology about blogs that you don't have to understand how it works. I don't understand how it works. I just know it does. And we're going to talk about why you blog. There's a blogging platform that is free called WordPress. If you don't know about WordPress, you're going to get introduced to WordPress. WordPress is at wordpress.org. And by the way, take a lot of notes, but I'm going to give you on a sheet of paper at the end of my presentation a download link to these PowerPoint slides, and everybody's welcome to them. But still take notes, because I think that's a good thing to do. But yeah, I want you to have a copy of my slides and review this, and it'll have all the links and all the things that I'm talking about, and pretty little pictures too. Now, why old media just doesn't cut it anymore? Now, my little film that I made there was supposed to be a little bit humorous, but it's the truth. Think about it. What was the beginning of information marketing? Gutenberg. And that's 500 years ago. We've had books for 500 years. And there's still going to be great books. Old media is not going to die. But you've got to learn about how new media is. There's a new phenomenon called the third screen. Has anybody ever heard of that? You know what that means? Okay, well, the third screen means there are 3 screens that your market is watching today. Television, the computer, and their mobile device. Well, guess what my generation's first screen is? TV. But then it's switching to the computer, and our third screen is our mobile device. Well, guess what it is with the younger generation? It's computer, mobile device, and TV is last. How many people saw the Super Bowl ads? You saw them? Remember, name 10 advertisers. You can't. Because old media costs way too much money, and old media is not as memorable. So we're going to talk about why old media doesn't cut it. And how new media marketing, podcasting, video blogs, the RSS technology is going to let you to become the dominator of your niche. I heard about a niche, diving, with some friends over here met this weekend. You know, they need to be the diving niche video blog dominator, building relationships with divers all over the world. A great example is there's a radio station, a podcast, that's one of the first ones I witnessed 2 years ago, and we're big fans of it, called Grape Radio. Anybody ever heard of Grape Radio? It's all wine, all the time, radio. Now, if I came into a market like Atlanta and said, hi, I'm with Grape Radio, and all we talk about is wine, would you like to advertise your car dealership? Of course not. But they've become a very, very successful $1 million property on the internet because there's wine lovers in that niche all over the world listening to them. They've got corporate sponsorship. They've dominated the wine market. So just remember, think about your niche and how you can use podcast, video blogs, and blogging technology to dominate that niche. And what we're going to also demonstrate, because I like to do a lot of show and tell, is I'm going to show you how easy it is to use the computer you already own, some simple software, the cheapest camcorder that you can get down at the Walmart, and a little old microphone that'll plug into your computer. Between those 3 things, this is my television station worldwide. CNN ain't got nothing on me. Now you think about it. What's CNN's reach? Because I know people, I used to do work for CNN. Worldwide. What's the reach of this little antenna right here? Worldwide. What do they got? They got cameras and lights. I got cameras and lights. What do they got? Microphones. I got a microphone. Let's go head to head. In fact, I'll diverse for a second because I got 82 minutes. I worked on a record in 1981 called I Was Cable When Cable Wasn't Cool. Ted Turner actually hired us to produce that record for him to put on it used to be, it was TBS Superstation back then. I forget, TCG was WTCG back then. And I remember everyone in Atlanta going, Ted Turner is crazy. He's going to make an all-news channel. Nothing but news, 24 hours a day. He's crazy. How crazy is he? He actually understood how cable worked. The internet is the opportunity for you to do cable TV. So just look at that analogy. And if somebody says you're crazy, that's all the more reason to prove them wrong. I gotta have some water here. Okay, what is a blog and why blog? Okay, I'll tell you what a blog is. It's a web page that you don't got to do nothing to make it work except create content. It is web pages that instantly communicate, educate, sell and announce, and have dialogue to the world in text, audio, and video. It does not require design. There's no waiting on a webmaster. If you can talk, look at the lens of a camera, or type, you qualify. It's that simple. Because when I got started, you had to learn HTML a little bit, or you could get those editors like Front Page, and there were some free ones out there. And it was a little bit confusing, and it's still confusing to a lot of people. But blogging, which you'll see in my demonstration, is if you can type, you can do text. Now, I struggle with that, so that's why I went with audio and video. Because I can't spell, and I can't read. So I figure I'll talk, and I'll make content that makes the ability for people to know, love, and trust me. And guess what? When they know, love, and trust me, they will buy from me. Great example is how do you think we found my dream home? On the internet. We didn't look through some big printed book. You know, those little magazines that have at the grocery store that nobody looks at, that real estate agents pay $1,000 a month to have their pictures of houses that nobody look at. Old media. My wife found the house on the internet, and then she called up an agent who we knew, loved, and trusted to help us do the deal. Any agent in Atlanta had that inventory. It was not the inventory. It was not the product that made the sale for her. It was the knowing and loving and trusting her that we had built. Now, she built that personally. You need to learn how to do that through this technology to the world so you can have people that know, love, and trust you elsewhere. You become findable on search engines. That's another thing that just blows me away because of blog technology. Static web pages require the things you heard from like Brad Fallon, search engine optimization. I am no good at it. All I understand is Google AdWords. I pay money, people come. That's how I get found. And that's a great way. You heard Armin talk about pay-per-click advertising. That's you buy keywords, they show up at web pages that help people become customers eventually. That's called conversion. But this magic of the blogging technology, RSS, real simple syndication, which we're going to get into in a second, was what makes you findable. I mean, people all of a sudden can take you and put them in their webpage and get you more eyeballs, get you more viewers. So just from the mere fact that you're findable, you should do a blog for that. Because when they find you, they can learn more about you and ultimately buy from you. The software to do blogging is free. And now bandwidth is ridiculously cheap. I mean, I remember when I paid $100 for a domain name and $100 a month for a toy hosting account. And now there's people out there giving just ridiculous amounts of bandwidth for $2 and $3 and $4 a month. So there's no excuse. You can transmit audio and video to the world for pennies. But you have to know how to make the content. That's the hiccup. It's like, well, go, Mike, I'd love to do that, but I don't know. Well, you're going to see that it's not that hard. That's another reason to blog. People can instantly receive what you update automatically because of what's called RSS. That allows you to have a dialogue with your visitors, listeners, and viewers effortlessly. So all you have to know how to do is create the content. That's why you must blog. What is RSS and what are news aggregators, news readers, and why is iTunes important to us? Well, here's why I'll tell you why. RSS stands for Real Simple Syndication. It's a computer language that I don't want to know how it works. I just know it does. But it enables software like news readers to get your content that you create automatically every time you publish. I think email has got lots of challenges these days, more so than it was when I started, more so than it was 10 years ago. Because, does anybody get spam? Okay, well, there you go. Well, guess what? RSS is immune to that. People who want your content can get it because of this automatically without them doing anything, just as easy as email. And if they choose not to hear from you anymore, they can unsubscribe. So it means that you've got to create the kind of content that builds their trust and they want to continue to get it. But once they get that RSS exists, if they just understood that an aggregator, iTunes, and a thing called a feed reader was the online equivalent to a magazine, a radio station, or a television set, they would see how easy it is to tune you in, to read what you write, to listen to what you have to say, and view what you create on demand. And if you think of the model of broadcast, when you gather a herd of people who know, love, and trust you, here's my rule. It's an 80-20 rule. If I entertain, inform, and educate you for 80% of the time, I earn the right to take 20% of the time to recommend something that will make me money. I have, to this day, been doing that for 2 years, and no one has gotten mad and said, well, you spammed me with a commercial in your video blog. No. I was a trusted friend telling them something about that excites me and gave them an opportunity to buy. And every time I do it, a percentage does. That's how it makes money. I talk, and I put up on my blog, and it turns into business. People are at this seminar and have been in the past because of this same process, and you can do it too. Now, there's just to let you see what they look like, and when you download the PowerPoint slides, you're going to see there's feedreader.com is a free one. That means that people can download that software. You have to educate your list. Hey, go get these things. Google has a free RSS reader. Yahoo has a free... I mean, this is not about money. This is educating the people. I'd love to watch your TV show, but I don't know what a TV set is. No excuse. We've got to tell people that these are the TV sets and the radios of the world. And it even gets better in a minute. Just this week, there was a new website launched called Pyro TV. And somehow it can go to my blog and pull my video and put it searchable in their search engine for RSS video blogs. So there's scary, but my ugly mug in a web page that I had nothing to do with. It was automated. That's more eyeballs. Please give me all the eyeballs I can, because that's how I'm going to build this trust that's part of Web 2.0. Here's another exciting thing I told my partner Jim one morning. I said, hey, dude, do you know that now Internet Explorer it's easy for you to say. Internet Explorer 7 has one-click subscription to RSS blogs. Most people don't know that, but you can tell if you find a blog, this is what comes up. Subscribe to this. How often do you want me to check to see has he got new content? Every day, every 15 minutes, and one-click subscription. You get my video, my audio, and my text. How easy is that? There it is. Subscribe to my list. Don't click that button. And there's, the automatically check. iTunes. For the people that have iPods. My good buddy Paul Colligan, who does Podcast Secrets, he wants everybody in the world to own an iPod or some sort of MP3 player. When you get iPods, that's what Steve Jobs wants to do. Oh, by the way, there's 100 million plus. Isn't that right, Paul? Got over 100 million iPods in the world. That's a lot of ears. That's a lot of eyeballs. I don't want to not be in their system. So there I am. There's my video blog. One-click subscription for somebody that has an iPod to consume my content. Don't ignore this. You need to be there. Now, this is what's really scary. That's my TV set at home. And there's a new thing. I don't know if you watch the regular old media TV, but there's this thing. And Paul told me, he said, man, you got one of them Apple TVs? I said, no, what the heck is that? He said, you're going to dig it. Go get one. Well, I went and got one because I wanted to see that my video blog can be in my living room. There's me. I can get in your living room now. Is that scary? I think it's awesome. So the point being is when I said CNN's not, I'll tell you what CNN's got on me, billions of dollars and years of branding. That's what they got on me, but I tell you what, I'm going to dominate my niche. CNN needs millions of viewers to monetize. I can do it with a few thousand. I can do it with several thousand. And you can too. I don't have to have 30 million viewers to make money. And I don't have to listen to Nielsen or Arbitron. So anyway, I can get in your living room automatically. And that's important if you know how to make this content. So, does everyone agree there is no excuse not to blog or podcast if you want to do business online? Do you agree? Yes or no? Yes or yes? Okay, well, trying to wake you up a little bit here too. Everyone online can hear, read, watch content that you publish while you're building trusting relationships with those subscribers. We have to educate our prospects because the opportunity is now. What it is 5 years from now, this is going to be such commonplace. There was a point I didn't own a fax machine. Well, are you in business if you don't have a fax number? Of course not. There was a point that businesses didn't have email addresses. Well, that's, of course, this is where this is going to be. If you don't business blog, and that's what this book is a whole lot about, is about advanced business blogging, using blogging and RSS, podcasts, and video blogs to build business relationships. And audio and video, I believe, builds trust faster than any other media and can quickly conveys information. Like Jim said, to describe over the phone how to tie your shoes. If I called you on the phone and I did this. Now, did everybody get what I did? Did I like the water? You got a lot of information just visually. When you do visual things in a blog, you can convey. If a picture shows 1,000 words, a video shows 10 million words. So you convey a lot more information. Your prospects can choose to hear you on their PC, their iPod. Guess what's coming in June? The iPhone. They'll be able to hear you in so many different ways. And now, I even proved it to myself, I can get into your living room and you can sit on your sofa and you can say, I'm tired of CNN, I want to see what Mike's up to. That's powerful. Is old media advertising failing? Because you know what? We're not going to get rid of books. TV's not going out of business this year. Radio stations are not going to die because people still get in their cars. But guess what? I think broadband radios are coming in cars soon. I haven't heard any data, but that's just got to come. And when broadband radios exist, that means I can put my RSS feed, I can put my call letters in your car, and you could listen to me on demand in your car. That's going to be powerful. But you've got to know how to use a microphone. We're going to do that in a minute. But let's talk about it. You use the Yellow Pages or Google? Google. Have you used the Yellow Pages 20 times since the first of the year? Okay. So do you think the Yellow Pages are not as effective as they once were? Well, let me give you an example. I got a brick and mortar business here in town, a good friend of mine, who is video blogging, I'm proud to say. And I'm going to show it to you later in the presentation, his blog. But he was spending $60,000 a year in Yellow Page advertising. He converted that to local Google advertising and doing a video blog, driving people to his video blog to build relationships. And he spends about $10,000 a year now. So guess what? You can make money doing this by saving money, by reshifting some of your advertising dollars from old media to new media. And his return on his investment is just skyrocketed compared. In fact, he said, I hate that old statement. Half of my advertising isn't working. I don't know which half. I don't know an internet marketer that loves that. Well, half of my Google AdWords I haven't been tracking, so I don't know if they're working or not. You want to know what every nickel is doing, so when you use new media, you have the ability to track. And in old media, I wouldn't be a Yellow Page salesman for nothing today. In fact, one of my customers, they were asked, this cracks me up, they were wanting $100 a month to have a link from the Yellow Page website back to his website. $1,200 a year for a link that probably nobody will ever find or click on. With no trackability. Old media doesn't get it. Don't get hung up in that. Do you get the local newspaper printed or do you read news online? Think about it. You don't have to answer these questions. Just think about it. Do you listen to the radio home at Everett? Most people listen to radio in their cars. I know it's less and less the statistics. Do you watch the local news or the national news? CBS News, one of the things when I was a kid, we had to have supper done by 6 o'clock because Walter Cronkite was coming on. And you know why my dad liked Walter Cronkite? Because he felt like he knew him and he loved and trusted what Walter had to say. Walter could have been lying through his teeth, but that's the only media we had. We trusted him, and that's why he was so popular in the 60s. So today, we saw bloggers bring down Dan Rather because they lied. They built mistrust with us. This is the power of new media versus old media. Do you fast forward through commercials on your VCR and your TiVo? Gee, I bet that advertiser who spent $2.5 million at the Super Bowl loves to know that. Well, see, that's what it is. We watch Super Bowl ads for entertainment value. We don't watch it to buy the products. But what television advertising doesn't get and hasn't been doing is called interruptive advertising. Interruptive advertising means I'm interested in this, and all of a sudden you advertise me this, which I have no interest in. It's, you know what? It's broadcast spam. The deal is when you build relationships and know trust, you better recommend as a trusted friend things in your niche. But if you're doing diving, you're not going to be talking about, the Blatex living bra. Well, maybe you might, but That used to aggravate me. Get Smart would come on and they would advertise the Playtex Living Bra. I have yet to buy one because of that ad. Does CNN or CBS or NBC, the big major broadcasters, want and encourage you to leave your comments and post them for the world to see? Do they encourage you to be a part of their community? No! They want to slant things their way to get the results that appease their advertisers. That doesn't work in a blog. That doesn't work in Web 2.0. That doesn't work in relationship marketing. What that does is that's old media marketing and they have no choice and they're caught in this whirlwind. They're like that steamship that can't make a 90-degree turn. We're entrepreneurs. We're internet marketers. We can go home and change on a dime if something is not working. So that's the power of new media versus old media. I think old media is failing. Here's some statistics. 50 million people turn daily to the internet for news. The Association of National Advertising conclude that TV advertising is becoming less and less effective, and 45% of the TV advertisers are looking to doing online ads. They're beginning to feel the crunch. And they're not internet marketers. They don't get this, and you do. So the deal is you have the opportunity now to start being the dominator of your niche. While they're scrambling trying to figure out, oh my God, we got holes in the ship and we don't know what to do. So what is new media marketing? It's conversation marketing versus interruptive marketing of old media. Conversation marketing is the fact that I've built a relationship with you, you know, love, and trust me, and I'm giving you good information that helps you keep your interest, solve your problems, whatever, and then I can recommend my products, other people's products, information products. I do physical products. This is not about just information products. However, it can be, because it's whatever your niche that you want to dominate will consume. You have to educate them to consume, and you have to teach them that you are the trusted authority. This is authority marketing. I want to become the authority on internet, video, and audio, and I've worked very hard to get that branding. And my good friend Jim Edwards wore a red shirt, and I said, do you care if I wear a blue shirt? And that means I get to wear Hawaiian shirts everywhere I go, except at McDonald's, which doesn't have anything dietetic to eat. Dialogue with your niche where there is a sense of community and trust as opposed to being told what to like and see. That's what you have to do in new media marketing. You have to tell people that this worked for me and this can work for you. And I've said this, and you probably heard it this weekend, and I'll say it again. People do business with those they know, like, and trust. And that's what new media can do. You become a trusted friend who recommends products and services that solve their problems. If you're not solving somebody's problem, why would they give you money? Think about that. But if you can state something in a video blog or in a dialogue that you're having through this technology, then you're going to have the ability for people to trust you for your recommendations and pay you for that results. You are narrowcasting instead of untargeted broadcasting. Old media is untargeted broadcasting, because this is what they tell you at a radio station. Well, we know that X amount of listeners are listening between 6 and 10 on our station. So therefore, because we have this many people listening, this is what the advertising costs. And I've been involved with radio campaigns that they spent $20,000 and $30,000 on, and nobody showed up at the car dealership to get their hot dogs. I mean, you don't know. With this, the costs are way less, and it's about building the trust with your list. And then once you have that list, I heard it the other day, the money's in the list. This is a great list building because it goes viral. People can say, I trust this guy, you should go. Word of mouth advertising works well with this. Now, why WordPress? It's free. And Armin says to use it, so that's reason enough right there. There's thousands of what's called themes. Free themes. There's hundreds of hosting plans that have one-click install of WordPress. If you have a web hosting account, you may go back to the web page that your web host is and find out that they include WordPress. Most Linux plans include WordPress. So you probably have it and don't even know it. So there's no reason not to use it. You can put multiple blogs on the same domain name, or you can put a blog per domain name. Your website can become your blog. It's just so simple. You'll see in a minute. Now, if I want to do a podcast, which is an audio blog, you have to have a couple of things with your computer. There's lots of software out there. There's some free. There's one called Audacity. I don't recommend it because audio software, there's no support for it, and I think it's a little more complicated. It's what's called a multi-track program. I like Sony SoundForge, so that's what I'm going to demonstrate. It's an audio standard for products. Now, see, here's another thing that's great about this. I think this is an entry level to making products yourself. If you learn to record an MP3 with Sony SoundForge for your blog and doing your podcast, and do little short 1 or 2 or 3 minute clips, you're one step away from building an audio CD product. You're one step away from being able to put that audio on a website, to be on a static website to help you sell and increase your conversion. So what all can you do with a Sony SoundForge software? Well, you can make CD tracks, you can make web audio files, you can edit voice, you can do what the kids do called rip audio CDs, you can capture it from analog sources. Maybe you have a speech from 30 years ago and you want to take it off a tape and make it digital as an MP3. All of the things are possible with this software. And then one of the easiest ways to get podcast content, and we see a lot of people in internet marketing doing it, is doing teleseminars and repodcasting the teleseminars on their blog. And I have a case study of where I did a teleseminar, and 6 months later, somebody emailed me and said, I heard your teleseminar and I agree with you and I need to do that. Is this what I need to buy? And one email later, it was a $1,700 sale. So you don't know who will listen to something. Once it's archived and it's on the web, it's up there for good. So it's worth learning how to do this, and the combination of this with teleseminars and webinars, it just gets crazy. So, getting clean audio for podcasts and video blogs sets you apart from what I call the YouTubers. What it is YouTube was a phenomenon. It came out about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, and then in 18 months they built a huge community and a huge set of eyeballs. But one of the things that I saw by watching a lot of the videos was the fact that they had very poor sound. And the reason being is because people would take camcorders and shoot videos, and they would use the microphone on the camcorder. Well, there's a thing in television, and especially in even recorded audio, you have to do what's close miking. Like this microphone right here, if I put it that far away, the sound completely changes. So you have to be close mic'd. If not close mic'd, it goes away. You get it back, it's right. So the further you are away from a microphone on the camera, it's okay for shooting the kids on Christmas morning, but it's not for being able to do business blogging and a video that does business results. You want to have clear audio, so you have to do close miking. And so with a simple microphone that's a little more professional, not the Barbie microphone from Walmart, and this new device called a Light Snake, which I've got up here, I'm able to get clean audio for a podcast. So what I'm going to do is, let's just talk about the process here to let you know what you have to do do an audio video blog. You have to be able to type text in a posting box. Can everybody do that, I would assume? You can type text, assuming you can spell, all right? You have to know how to do 3 kinds of files. You have to be able to make an MP3 audio file, or you have to know how to make an FLV video file or an MPEG-4 video file for iPods. If you can master making those 3 types of content by clicking, talking, and saving, and then a couple of other simple steps, you can do all of this in a matter of minutes. It's not the technology. It's thinking of something that's going to build the relationship. It's going through the process of having content up there that accomplishes all these goals. So, now, one of the biggest challenges I saw, and I learned this from Armin years ago, when you see people having trouble with something, you create a piece of software to make it easy. So one of the problems that people were having trouble that I was coaching and helping get along with this was learning how to upload the audio clip or the video clip to their blog. Because there's commercial software out there that does it, but it's overkill. So I made a piece of software that I'm going to demonstrate that makes it dead easy. I called it Blog Media Uploader because that's what it does. It uploads what I made on this computer through the internet up to my blog and makes it available to the world to broadcast. So, in fact, that's a free piece of software. If you go to blogmediauploader.com, you can get it for free. I think it's full of value, but anyway. And then you have to tell your blog where you put. Probably one of the biggest computer rules to learn is remember where you put stuff. If you don't remember where you put it, you're going to have problems. So I have to remember where I saved it. Paste the link in a thing called PodPress, which I'm going to show you, and magically, by doing that, the blog software WordPress will embed your audio and make it work without you knowing how to do any coding, any programming. All you have to do is just do a couple steps and you're podcasting. There's no need to learn coding. There's no need to learn how to build audio-video web players. It's instantaneous. Now, that's what WordPress looks like. I mean, if you can log into your checking account and you can log in online to eBay or any other situation, password-protected website, you have an administration area of WordPress where you can go in and look. It's got really hard steps here. Write a post, the title, and then here is where you say, there's where my audio or video is, and then you hit this button, publish, and you're done. We're going to do it live here in a second if the internet will cooperate with me. But it's that simple. Create, talk, click, and then ultimately build relationships that make money. So we're going to do an audio-only podcast right now. And we're going to do a little short one. It probably won't be a real long show, otherwise I'll run out of time. But here's some of the geeky stuff. Like I said, it's in the PowerPoint. Podcasts, spoken word podcasts, are generally saved at what's called a 22.556 kilobits per second MP3. That's a setting. You learn that setting in SoundForge, memorize it, and you never have to remember it again. But if you want to have documentation, that's the setting to get what's called FM quality podcasting audio. And you can do some basic editing if needed, but the fastest, easiest way to do a podcast is grab somebody and do an interview and don't even worry about the editing. That's the fastest way you can do it. Talk, click, save. So let me see here. Let me find a volunteer I can interview real quick. All right, I don't know who you are, but come on up here. Let's just have some fun. We're going to just do this. Guys, raise your head. Come on. And you are, sir. You don't have a microphone, well?
Not yet. Hello again.
Hi, Jack. Good to see you, buddy. Okay. Oh, we're going to stand up and do it here.
Okay.
Now, this is the SoundForge software. This is a microphone that's plugged into my computer with this cable that's going to the USB port. I tell the software here, start. When I hit record button, kind of like on a cassette deck, I can stand up. You can see those greens going up and down. So we're going to do about a 1-minute podcast. Now let's think about, hey, here's another thing. This is called pre-production planning. I'm going to say who I am. Mm-hmm. I'm going to ask who you are, what you do, and what your website is. And that's it. You got it, Jeff?
I got it.
Okay.
Good.
And if we screw up, we can edit. But let's see if we can do it without an edit. Hi, this is Mike Stewart. We're from the desk of MikeStewart.com, and I'm here today to do a podcast with Jeff Herring. Jeff, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Mike. How about you?
I'm doing great. Tell us a little bit about what you do and what your website is.
I'm the internet article guy, and I help people write and market articles for more publicity, profits, and prospects, and then turn those articles into products.
That's awesome. Well, everybody visit his website, and we'll have you next week on the show when we talk about paper. Thank you. You're welcome. What was hard about that? Nothing. Oh, God. Yes, there is. I have to save it and remember where I put it. Okay. Here we go. File, save as. And there's a folder that I've pre-made, kind of like the cooking show that has the pie already done. I'm going to call that Jeff, since that was Jeff. I've actually got here the settings that I told you about already saved. So I hit save. And, hi, this is Mike Stewart. We're from the desk of MikeStewart.com. And I'm here today to do a podcast with Jeff Herring. Okay, my podcast is done. I could have gone for an hour, but that was about 30 seconds. Now, I told you about my little software called Blog Media Uploader. There it is. Now, if the internet will cooperate, trust me, I'll get this in my blog. If the internet does not cooperate, Trust me, it works. But here is the file that I just made called Jeff. I hit the next button. I pick a blog to put it on. I hit the next button. And please connect. Please connect. And it does. Now that it has connected to my blog, I hit next, and I hit next, and it slurps off of my computer through the internet up to my blog. Woo! Woo! Now, I get back on my favorite internet, and I'm going to go to that blog, and I have to go into the administration area of that blog. And it says, who are you? I'm the admin. I am admin, I roar. I will log in. I'm in my blog. Ooh. There's my blog. I will go back, and it says, do I want to write a post? No, I'd rather eat Post cereal, but I'll write an article. And it has to think when it click on this. And it says, what is the title of your blog, Mike? Jeff talks to Mike. What are you going to write? Listen to Mike and Jeff. Okay? Then I go back to my software, and it says, copy the link to the clipboard. Okay. Click. I go back to my blog, and there's this wonderful thing called a plug-in that says, add the media file. Click. And it says, location, Waverly Hotel. No, that ain't it. I'll right-click and paste. And it says, you got an MP3 file. Let me find out how big it is. Click this button. It is that. How long is it? It's that. Now I click publish. And it thinks a minute. And it now, all my subscribers to this blog, which fortunately there are none, because this is my test blog, there it is on the internet.
Hi, this is Mike Stewart. We're from the desk of MikeStewart.com, and I'm here today to do a podcast with Jeff Herring. Jeff, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Mike. How about you?
I'm doing great. Tell us a little bit about what you do and what your website is.
I'm the Internet article guy, and I help people write and market articles for more publicity.
That's podcasting. Don't tell me you can't do that. You just saw it. It was point, click, think of something to say. That's where I get hung up every time. And a couple other point and clicks. And now I'm broadcasting to the world. So let's move forward here. Are you learning anything here, guys? Okay. Guess what? Doing a video blog is the same exact process. Except you got to look at the camera lens and talk to people. You can't be looking everywhere else. And you folks, you're just going to look. Oh, no. That was the hypnotized people last night. I'm wondering, I talked to Dr. Scott. I said, is that because I'm too stupid or I'm too smart? And he didn't answer me. So you could record and edit and assemble in post-production. I use a program called Sony Vegas Video. Sony Vegas Video is a television studio in a box. And it's not that complicated, but guess what? I think it scares the bejeebies out of people. It's like, oh God, I got to edit video, and I got to think of text to put over it, and it's called CG. It's like all of a sudden, and we had a very successful course, Website Video Secrets, where we taught people making infomercials for websites, which is a very powerful. Have we got some Website Video Secrets folks out there? Thank you, thank you. You gave me my dream house. Thank you, guys. And I think that's a goal for video blogging, to become a better video producer. But you don't have to begin with. It's easy to produce in real time with no editing to get started. I mean, what was the editing on the podcast? Absolutely nothing. I just did an interview. Had we gone 30 minutes, you would have excused a few ums and hums and coughs and hacks. It doesn't matter. But you can do the exact same thing with video, especially if you're working in 30, 62-minute chunks. All you got to do is when you look at the lens of the camera, do show and tell. Don't go, hi, it's me again, and I have absolutely nothing to tell you. You know, get excited about something. Tell people about a new diving max. Tell them about a new book you found. In fact, I'll do one here about this book of my buddies here, just to show you what I mean. And I'm going to show you two methods. Yeah, a little light would probably make the picture look better. You want a good picture, you want clear sound. That puts you way ahead of the YouTubers. And here's the equipment I use and why. One, I don't like webcams. I don't think they make a very good picture. There may be some that do, but camcorders, to get a webcam that looks as good as a camcorder, you're probably going to have to spend a pretty good amount of money. Plus, a camcorder can go out and shoot footage that ultimately you can edit and narrate later. So, and you can use the camcorder on vacations too. So, this is the absolute cheapest camcorder that I could find at Walmart that Sony makes. I like Sony products. I'm sure all the other products are great, but I personally like Sony. When I'm doing my video blog, this is my system from home. That's my $12 tripod. This camera is always on, sitting on my desk. In fact, that's why and anybody that wants to do that, you're welcome to do it. I named my blog From the Desk of Mike Stewart because that's where I sit to make it. So if you're from the desk of, your name's above, that's a great domain to get for your blog because that becomes your podium to tell people the world about what you're doing. Then I connect the camera to my computer. Most new computers have a thing called FireWire. This is a FireWire cable right there. That's what it looks like. That's how this comes out. There's other ways of connecting cameras to computers. I recommend and have tested, and the only thing that I care that works is what I got setting up here, which is the FireWire. So that's the visual element. To get the clean audio, I normally use a lavalier mic like I got here. This is a wireless lavalier mic that's getting the audio to the video that they're creating, that Armin's creating. They make professional wired lavalier mics that you can have 20-foot cable and the ability to get far away from the camera but still get clean sound because the close miking is what makes the difference. And I use that in combination with the Light Snake, which is a very cheap solution to get clean audio into your computer. But you can also use the handheld mic with video. In fact, it's great for interviews. I mean, when they're doing the Academy Awards, they're going back and forth with the microphone on the red carpet. So using a handheld microphone in video is not the end of the world. So what we're going to do, to be able to use this Pro microphone, there's a little piece of software I had developed a couple years ago to make it easy to use a cheap camera with a good microphone so you could get good sound on it. It's called Video Capture Wizard, and I'm going to demonstrate how I could do a video blog posting. Now, it'll take too long to upload all this stuff. Do you believe me that the video will get up there just like the audio? Because if I demonstrate that, I'll run out of time, and I got some good stuff I want to show, case studies before. So just trust me that this works. So here's the Video Capture Wizard software. Now, from watching too much Letterman, I realized that they have a microphone sitting on the desk all the time. That's how they used to do audio on old late night TV shows back in the 50s and 60s. They actually had a microphone on a desk stand sitting, that the host talked on. So, hey, so what? There's a microphone in the lens here. It doesn't matter. It's close miking. I can look at it, and I can do some show and tell. So one click. I'm going to name this 1. Hit save. Get myself positioned. Fix my hair. Makeup. Hey gang, it's Mike Stewart here from the Desk of Mike Stewart today, and I want to tell you about this great book I found from my good buddy John Paul Mishak that's all about secrets of online persuasion. I'll tell you, if you want to know about podcasting and video blogging, this is the book to get. It's full of a lot of great information, and hey, in fact, we got a discount on water too. So if you want to buy water, click that button up there, and if you want to buy this book, I've got a link to Amazon where you can get a copy of this book. But it's great. It's going to change your life. Okay. Was that hard? I don't think so. Thank you. Now, there's what we made. Hey
Hey, gang, it's Mike Stewart here from the Desk of Mike Stewart today, and I want to tell you about this great book I found from my good buddy John Paul Mishak that's all about secrets of online persuasion. I'll tell you, if you want to know about podcasting and video blogging, this is the book to get. It's full of a lot of great information, and hey, in fact, we got a discount on water too. So if you want to buy water, click. The point being is, it's point, click, save, upload. And what was I doing there? I was talking to my friends and recommending things that I felt passionate would help me. That's marketing. That's conversation marketing. And you need to do it within a blog. Now, Armin was pretty impressed and brought it up several times to tell you about this. And this is the true story about it. And in fact, I'm going to recreate the video blog posting that Sony. This is a new piece of software that I just developed. Because one of the things I used to notice, what is a way that people at seminars can make a lot of money from the seminars to the people that didn't come to it? The video, the DVDs. It's a very profitable information product. And all a DVD is that you get here is our PowerPoint slides and me on the stage. Maybe a few shots of you smiling and nodding your heads. But in real time, they're up there switching from the PowerPoint slides back to me, back to the PowerPoint slides. Now, what's good about that in television? It doesn't mean for an hour and a half you got to look at me. It gives your eye a little rest from the blue shirt. That's good television. That's why there's 3 and 6 to 7 cameras on live television. When in fact, Monday night, watch the Letterman show because we got tickets to Letterman in New York. So you might be seeing me and Susan going, "Bleh." I ought to wear the blue shirt so see anybody picks it out. But anyway, they're going in real time, man. That camera's on. The director says that camera, and that's called switching. I thought, what if there was a piece of software I could set at home and switch from my PowerPoint slide back to my camera, back and forth in one take? I could make a DVD chunk, or I could make a blog video instantly. So let's do that. The name of this software is Blog Video Creator. It has 4 controls. Stop, start, the camera, me, and the slide. So let's just pull up a slide here. And in fact, I'm going to do a blog video about Blog Video Creator. And this is what I sent to the distributor of the Light Snake, which put me in negotiations with Sony to put this in Office Depot for salespeople. Is that not cool from a blog video? Well, this is what I did in January that started that opportunity. Now, here's what's great. This big green honking light up here tells me it's on the slide. This, when it turn red, when it's the camera. That's kind of come from television. You know, the red light's on. You got to look at the camera. When I'm on the green light, I can pick my nose. So, and I have to occasionally. So, let's just do it. Hey, it's Mike Stewart, and I want to tell you a new software I'm excited about. First of all, I'm so glad you're here today to learn about this new software. Now, let's go back to the slide. Right here, you can see if you can look at a camcorder lens, use a professional microphone, and create an original presentation and just talk about it, you could make a video blog presentation like this one in one take that could end up making you money. Let's go back to the slide. So here, right here, what I want you to see here, these are the items. You need a microphone, you need a light snake, and a camcorder, and you can do near broadcast quality podcasts and video blogs. Now let's go to the next slide. It's only got 4 controls to learn. Now this is really crazy. Start, stop. Is it on the camcorder, or is it showing my PowerPoint slides? Listen, folks, it don't get no simpler than this. And here, look at that thing blinking green there. That's called a light snake. That's one of the coolest things I ever found. So I recommend you point to this link right up here and you get yourself one today. Stop. And what that made is a video file that could go on my blog. And remembering where I put it is the key. Hey, it's Mike Stewart, and I want to tell you a new software I'm excited about. First of all, I'm so glad you're here today to learn about this new software. Now let's go back to the slide. Right here, you can see if you can look at a camcorder lens, use a professional microphone.
You get the point?
Create an original presentation and just talk about it. You could make a video blog presentation like this one in one take.
Thank you.
Making you money. Let's go back to the slide. So here, right here, what I want you to see here, these are the items.
Okay, I believe you. I'll buy one. Let's talk about some profitable case studies, because the reality is this isn't get rich quick. This is building trust that turns into customers that make you rich. So these are the case studies. I'm an internet marketer, but I also sell a lot of physical products. I think there's a lot of uses for this that the real world of all kinds of business does not get yet, and you can be pioneers with us. You know, I'm the guy saying, let's go west, there's gold in them Mar Hills. Come on, don't be scared, it's just gold. This is what I do at my blog. I inform, I educate, I entertain, and I advertise. 80-20 rule. 80% of it's information, education, entertainment, and the purpose is to build relationship, build my list, and give people product offers that turn into money. Every time I do a blog posting and I have an angle, it turns into some sort of profit. Some more than others, but when it all averages out in the year, it's worth a little bit of time. If you can't find 4 minutes to hit 4 controls on a computer in front of a camcorder and microphone, then you're too busy making money somewhere else, or not. That's how I make money with it. I clicked, I looked at the lens of the camera, I talked, and I got it in my blog. And I have, in fact, I'm just curious, anybody watch my blog here? Do you feel like you know me before you met me? That's the purpose, folks. That's the purpose. I hope all of you start to watch my blog because I kind of think it's quite entertaining. And I will advertise to you at some point. Jim has a very profitable thing called the Net Reporter. Guess what is the engine behind all the killer multimedia that he sells for, I think he said $40,000 a month. That's making money. Maybe that's not, being a billionaire, but I'll tell you what, I remember when I thought $40,000 a year was a doctor's salary. I'm that old. He sells, it still is. Guy's spraying bugs. So that'll be $500. He says, I'm a brain surgeon. I don't make that much money. He says, I didn't when I was a brain surgeon either. So, premium content sold as a member. It's controlled, it's managed pretty much by WordPress. That's what his membership site is a WordPress blog with multimedia and text and 1,000 other valuable things. I couldn't give a higher recommendation. The Net Reporter is awesome. And by the way, I'm part of the television show called The Online Business Show. Here's a corporate use. Maybe some of you are not internet marketers, but you own or deal with the corporations. We just, my partner Mike Edging, who you're going to meet here in just a minute, went to one of his partners out in Las Vegas and said, how would you like to quit flying to China to demonstrate pallets? You make these incredible styrofoam pallets, and you have to fly to China to explain to manufacturers over there about these warehouse pallets. He's doing a video blog to be able to get feedback and court vendors all over the world. He's not making money because he's already got the vendors. He's saving travel expenses because he can get in front of the camera and tell people what he needs to do that normally meant getting on an airplane. I mean, getting on an airplane with a PowerPoint presentation to get into a conference room and do a presentation and be told you don't get the gig sucks. But you can do the same thing in 4 minutes and send an email and say, go watch this in a private or password-protected blog. Huge uses of knowing how to video blog. Eridex blog is one that this guy flipped out over, and they're going to be building hundreds of blogs for hundreds of vendors to save these costs. This is a great case. This is a student of mine. This is Dr. Charles Martin. Now, he's been a customer. I love customers that no matter what you advertise, that you get an order from them. God, I want more. But Dr. Charlie buys everything I have to sell. And he says, I got to do the video blogging thing, Mike. What do I? He says, in fact, I don't want to take the course. I want you to come up here and personally teach me. And I said, and I gave him a price thinking he'd say no. And he said yes. So I said, okay, well, now I got to do it. And but listen, he's a brick and mortar business sending local Google AdWords to his video blog to help come over the dental practice's brick and mortar biggest problem. People hate to go to the dentist. They're scared to go to the dentist. This video blog is building trust that he won't hurt you, that he'll take care of you, that it's a great experience. His staff know what they're doing. And oh, by the way, have you tried teeth whitening? And you know how he's turned this into a $2 million a year business? Because the case studies, what he's done, has made him sell a coaching program to other dentists for $50,000 a piece, and he sold 30 dentists into it this year. Teaching dental practices to do video blogging. Not just, it's just a piece of it. But I'm trying to tell you, that's the power of who would have thought a dentist wants to video blog? This is one of my favorite case studies. This is a good friend of mine here in Atlanta, Georgia. His name's Hal Coleman. He's a very entertaining guy. He drives local Google AdWords to his blog, yuckynastybugfacts.com. And he gets on there. His latest one is killer, dead rats. Oh, man, it was killer. And he makes you want to get an exterminator so bad. And he cracks you up, and it's so funny, it's so entertaining, and it's brought to you by North Fulton Exterminating. Let me tell you the case study just last week. He did his rat episode last week. And he went on, his list is very small. I think he's only got like 120 people of the Chamber of Commerce on his list right now. But when he did that rat episode and sent out an email to send people to the video blog, because they haven't figured out RSS yet, they still have to click on a link in an email, but that's okay for today. He went to the Chamber of Commerce meeting because he gets a lot of business going to Leeds meetings. And he had people surrounding him and telling everybody at the meeting, have you seen Hal's Yucky Nasty Bug Facts? God, that's funny. Well, by the way, I got somebody who's got a new house subdivision going in, and he got business immediately because he took 10 minutes to educate, build a relationship, a fun thing. And the local newspaper put an article about Yucky Nasty Bug Facts and was an SEO guy. And I think for Yucky Nasty Bugs, he's #1 in the world this week in Google because of that blog posting from the newspaper. There's power here, folks. It's building relationships. Now I want to tell you about a labor of love, and I want to introduce you to a very, very special new internet marketer and a friend of mine for 30 years. I'm a musician. I've played music all my life. I've written music all my life. I've sold music all over the world. Some of you maybe have downloaded my ethical bribe from my opt-in, which was music. And because of podcasting and because of video blogging, it's brought together a reality that I want to demonstrate to you and show you that a dream, your dreams can come true from taking the effort and action to do some of this. And this is a dream I started 30 years ago. You know, I am going to be successful in music. I have been, and I'm going to continue because I see opportunities in marketing that I've learned from the mentors that you've been hearing all weekend. And I see opportunities in the music business, and I'm going to chase that dream because I can afford to do it. I don't have to work 80-hour weeks just to be able to, barely break even anymore. Thank you, God. I'm very grateful. This video blog brought together 3 old friends. There's a great story with this music. This is the 50th anniversary of the record label Stax. That's Otis Redding. In fact, they were playing Booker T and the MGs, warmed me up. Nobody knew that I loved Stax. Booker T and Duck Dunn. I mean, those musicians mean a world to me. This is the 50th anniversary of Stax Records. And William Bell is an Atlantan who is a Stax blues legend. He wrote a song, Born Under a Bad Sign. Anybody remember that from Cream? How many oldies? Well, yeah. Do. Oh, cut that out. That's copyright. Yeah, but I know the writer, so it's okay. It brought me and Mike. Mike and I were kids in a band here in Atlanta in 1977. And he went to Las Vegas to chase his dream. And Armin Morin, the big seminar, and video blogging and podcasting brought us together to form Alive Records, to do this new project. We wanted to be MikeandMike.com, but there's some sports show called Mike and Mike, so we took MichaelandMike.com. And can I perform for you our new single? So, now for a little fun, the video bill.
Michael, do you enjoy the business aspect? You have to deal with it a lot. Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, I do enjoy it, but I haven't been doing it as long as William, so maybe ask me in 20 years how I like the business end of it. But
was it something that came natural for you, or was it something you had to develop because you wanted to be a creative person in the music industry?
I would think that being able to talk to people, I've always never had really a problem of talking to people, except maybe for today.
You're doing great.
Well, anyway, but being able to communicate with people and not being afraid to go up to them and say, I do such and such, and I think I'm pretty good, and if you just give me some time to let me sell you what I do. And I think that's the important thing.
Well, I want to thank our guests, William Bell and Michael Allen, for joining us today on Making It. I want to thank our studio audience for participating. Hope we've shown you a little bit about what it's like to try to make it in the music production business, and we'll see you next time on Making It.
Just when I was falling in love, just when I was falling in love. Just when I was falling in love. You take a bad time to break up, very bad time to break up. Just when I was falling in love.
Michael Edging. This is Michael Lee Austin's record producer.
I'm proud of that. We're working on a new record, too. Thank you very much. Mike called me in Las Vegas, and he said, hey, I got this great idea. Why don't you come out to the seminar and play? And I went, I'm there. Then he dropped the bomb. You have to talk. But then Armin said, don't think. He was right. Don't think. Just do what these guys tell you. What all these people up here are doing and telling you about, it really, really, really does work. Because I used it, It led to a charted record in Billboard, a record with my best friend Mike, brand new projects, brand new people I never thought I'd meet. So listen to these guys, take the advice, just go out there and do it. And thank you for listening to us.
Thank you. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Mikey. All right. I would like to think every one of you would like to hear what I have to tell you now. Because I hope I've proven to you that good things come from podcasting and video blogging. And just at near bottom, if you don't believe me, start blogging.
Hi, I'm Lorraine Grula from Nashville, Tennessee, and I own VideoProductionTips.com, and I am like an old-time video producer. Way back in the days of film, I even started. And, hey, the internet video guy, Mike Stewart, I'm jealous, okay? I'm really jealous, because he has done what I should have done if I'd been smart, you know, but his stuff is great. You can take it from me, the old lady who's done video longer than you've been alive, and his stuff is awesome, and it works, and it's entertaining to watch, and you'll love it. Because I love it and I don't like most stuff. And go for it.
My name's Michael Bartlett, and I'm from Jupiter, Florida. I think I just have seen the future. I've had a glimpse of it. It is Web 2 or whatever they're calling it, and I think that it is absolutely essential to anyone who's going to be a part of the next 2 years on the Internet to have these skills, have these capabilities, and very importantly, to have the help and the support and the tools that you're getting from Mike in pursuing this endeavor. If you want to be on the web, you want to be there with sound and pictures, and these guys know how to do it, and they can teach you.
Hi, my name is Anita Collins. I'm from New Jersey, and I'm creating the website doorwaytoawakening.com, and I've been present at the audio and blogging workshop, and I am thrilled to be able to see this information shown live in its absolute utter simplicity. It was brilliant to be able to see the information presented in a way that we could duplicate it very quickly using very simple tools. So I'm delighted to recommend Mike and Jim and take advantage of what they offer. It'll benefit you.
Hi, this is Jan Myers, the Top 10 Coach. I have just been attending a workshop that is being put on by Mike Stewart regarding video blogging. Now, I've been in a blog before and have some experience there, but I have not had any experience at adding audio and video to my blog. And what I learned from Mike has just been awesome. Not only will I be adding tons of video and tons of audio to a number of different blogs, it's really helped me figure out how to market several different businesses in this way. And I would highly recommend that you figure out any way you can to work with Mike. He is not only fun, not only is this a great time and we laugh a lot, but they can teach you exactly the details that you need, and that's what I came for, is to learn A, B, C, D. How can I do this? If you want to really take it to the next level, put video and audio on your websites, on your blog. It's the thing you should be doing, and Mike is the one to teach you.
Hi, my name is Bob Killey from InspectorSuccess.com. The audio video blogging workshop we had just the other day, it was fantastic. I learned exactly how to use the equipment that I just recently purchased, by the way, from Mike Stewart, the audio internet guy. The biggest thing I learned in the audio video blogging workshop the other night is just exactly how easy it was. I just thought it was a little bit more complicated than that, and I can't wait to get home and start doing it. I'd highly recommend something like this for for traffic. I mean, this is like on the cutting edge, the leading edge. When you start doing this, you're going to get known a lot quicker. People like to see a face. They like to put the voice and the face together. I think this is incredibly important if you're trying to become slightly famous.